Hey there, fellow digital entrepreneurs. It's Evie again from AskEvie.com, your resident process nerd. And today, I want to share something super personal with you. How being process-driven almost killed my business. I know. It sounds extreme, right? But hear me out. I got so wrapped up in perfecting the processes in my business and making everything run like clockwork that I ended up missing something completely important, and it almost cost me everything. So if you are feeling like your business isn't quite clicking despite having all the right systems in place, this one is for you. You all know I'm a huge fan of processes, automation, streamlining your business to make all of it scalable. Processes are necessary. They help create structure, efficiency, and allow you to build a business that doesn't rely solely on you being there every second. That's why we started a business, right? We want the freedom to do as we please. But here's what I learned the hard way. I got too focused on being process-driven. I was too focused on processes. I was obsessed with tweaking every little workflow, every system, trying to automate and optimize everything. And while my business was becoming super efficient, it was also becoming cold, robotic. I had systems in place and I lost sight of the humans that run those systems and that we run the system for. And that's where the real damage happened. For example, I had set up a super tight social media presence. You see me everywhere, right? We had the content calendar, the posting schedule, everything down to a science. But guess what? My team started feeling like they couldn't adapt or engage in the moment. They weren't able to jump on trends or get creative because we had locked ourselves in such a rigid system. The process was running perfectly, but my team was frustrated. And that frustration showed up in our results. And don't get me started on client interaction. My focus was so on making sure our process was perfect that I wasn't tuning in with my clients and what they really needed. Sure, I was checking off the boxes, but I was missing the personal connection. Now, the real turning point was for me when I realized something was off. My business was running on paper, but the energy was gone. My team was struggling, my clients weren't as engaged, and honestly, I wasn't feeling it anymore. I just wanted to close the door and shut down business. That's when I took a step back and asked myself, am I running a business that's all about systems, being solely process-driven, a business that's people-driven? The truth is, we are not robots. My team isn't made of machines and neither are my clients. We are all humans. Humans got good days and they got bad days. They got moments of creativity and they have times where they just need to break the routine. But being so process-driven, I had built a system that didn't allow for that. So how did I fix it? I started asking my team for honest feedback. That's the easy start. I needed to know how they were feeling working in such a process-driven business and all of the workflows and systems I had put in place. Were they actually helping or were they just creating more stress? Turns out, while my systems were efficient, they also weren't flexible. My team needed room to adapt, to be creative, to respond to real-time situations. So we loosened them up. We gave ourselves room to pivot when necessary, especially with things like content creation and client communication. And speaking of clients, I stopped focusing so much on just being process-driven and following the process and doing the process and started reconnecting with them on a personal level. Yes, the workflows were still in place. But now, instead of letting systems drive that relationship, we now allowed for space for real human interaction. And that's where you find the balance. That is the biggest takeaway from going through that journey and learning that lesson. Being process-driven is crucial. You need systems to scale and grow. If you don't have systems, your business is not scalable. Period. End of story. No question about it. But those processes have to work for the people running them. Otherwise, you end up with a business that looks great on paper, but doesn't have the soul and flexibility it needs to really thrive. So what I've learned is that the most sustainable, successful businesses are those that balance processes with people. When your system supports your team and your clients and leaves room for humanity, what a concept! That's when the magic happens. So what can you do right now if you feel like your business is becoming too process-driven and losing that human touch? Here are a few things that worked for me. Get feedback from your team. One of the easiest things. They are the ones using the processes day in and day out. Ask them if a system is not working for them or if it's becoming a burden. Be open and adjust things to make their life easier. Don't take it personal. It's just a process. Stay flexible. Your processes are important, but they shouldn't be set in stone. Build in some flexibility so your team can adapt to real-world situations. Allow for creativity to be spontaneous and human connection. Reconnect with your clients. Don't let your client interactions become just another task on your to-do list. Heck, I even had fun with chatbot automations. Hey, it's Eva, Evie's chatbot. How can I help you? Bring fun into this. Remember, your clients are people. Check in with them, listen to their needs, and be present in the conversation. And then you can have a process in place that records the calls and tells you what you need to do, but be present. Balance automation and personalization. Automate those repetitive tasks, but don't automate everything. Leave space for personal touches that show your client and team that you're still paying attention to them, not just the process. At the end of the day, being process-driven isn't bad. In fact, it is necessary to scale your business. But when processes start to overshadow the people who make your business run, that's when you know something's broken. Take it from me, your business can't just be about efficiency and structure. It has to be about the people too. When you find that balance between process and people, that's when your business will truly thrive. So how about you? Have you ever felt like your business was getting too focused on systems and losing that personal touch? I'd love to hear from you. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Drop it in the comments below. And if you found value in this video, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on building a business that is both efficient and human-centered. Speaking of which, check out this video over here where I share how to integrate human connection and conversation into your workflows in ClickUp. And remember, successful business is about great processes and the people who bring those processes to life. Catch you in the next one.